Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always, told how to voice the radio. So today, we need to take a little bit of a look at one of the weirder news stories we've talked about in a while. Because you see, ladies and gentlemen, Pokémon have gone and issued an official apology on their website for a card which actually hasn't been released yet, but has gone and been revealed. 3 weeks ago, it's Chandelure VMAX. And if you're looking at this card and going, Wassy, I have no idea why they would go and issue an official apology, yeah. Me neither. Well, actually, I do now, obviously. But they revealed this card 3 weeks before the apology came out. Not only did I not notice it when I saw the card, but I did not hear a single person point it out in the 3 weeks between card reveal and apology. So, if you don't already know why this is, can you figure it out? What if I show you these lovely Chandelure sleeves that I showed you the other day? What if I show you Chandelure V? You got it yet? Yeah, it's a little bit of a one. And the good news is, over on the official website, not only have they gone and shown you an enlarged version of the card, and incidentally, they've actually shown us the VMAX as well as a rainbow rare, and I'm fairly sure this is the only place they've actually shown the rainbow rare, but they've used it as an example on that as well. And they've gone and enlarged them, and they've gone and circled what the problem is. And the problem is, and it's very obvious when you know what you're looking for, there are lines, protruding black lines like the Chandelure design, out from the eyes of Chandelure. And if we look at Chandelure V, it is very obvious that lines do not come out horizontally from the eyes away from the center. If we look at the Chandelure sleeves, we can see the same thing. If we look at the official Ken Sugimori artwork, we can see the same thing. Chandelure has vertical lines going all the way around, but the horizontal line only goes from one eye to the other. It doesn't carry on back round. And if we look at the illustration on the VMAX, and the rainbow, because as I've said many times before, the rainbow VMAX really is just a print of the VMAX rainbow-fied. They have carried it on round, and you can see it's not just between the eyes and the hands, but it actually goes all the way around the back. You can see they've circled down in the bottom left and right there, that there are tiny little sections, and this is a little bit weird. Now, I do think it's very important at this stage to point out, come on, this is a very easy mistake to make. I didn't notice it. I am willing to bet you didn't notice it. What is strange is that somebody noticed it. I assume it was pointed out to them by somebody, because remember, when these cards are made, they have to go through a fairly vigorous testing process. There will be somebody from branding who will check all of these cards over. Part of the process is that the artwork is checked by branding to make sure that there are not mistakes along these lines. But we're not talking about giving Pikachu an extra tail here. We are talking about, frankly, an extremely small change. What is weird, however, is that they've actually gone and issued an apology. Because we've seen little mistakes like this before, we generally don't see the apologies. Now, here's what they've said. It's Google translated, so you know, not perfect. Thank you for your continued patronage of our products. There was an error in the illustration on some of the cards included in the Pokemon card game Sword and Shield expansion pack, released on September the 24th, 2021. That is this coming Friday. We deeply apologize and will correct it. In the future, we will strengthen product management and strive to prevent recurrence. We appreciate your understanding. Then they give the whole look at the enlarged card where they circle the bit that actually needs to be changed. And then they finish with, regarding the pattern of the Chandelure's body in the illustration of the above card, a line is also drawn on the outside of the eyes, but there is no line on the outside of the eyes correctly. I.e., it's been drawn, but it's not supposed to be there. There is no problem in playing the above cards. It can be used in official competitions. We do not accept exchanges of products or cards related to this matter. Thank you for your understanding. Now, as a side note, if you do end up with this Chandelure, you don't want to have it exchanged. You very much want this. The real question is whether it ends up being corrected or not. Because obviously we are very much in the age at the moment of everybody trying to make every Pokemon card worth £1 million. So clearly people are going to try and make this worth loads. And the real question is whether they correct it. Now, the fact that they've issued an apology before the first run actually hits shops does make me think that in future runs there might, and this is completely unconfirmed, it is nothing but a guess on my part, but it might well be, I think it will be, that they will actually do a second run with corrected artwork. And if they do a second run with corrected artwork, then yes, the first run will be an actual misprint. One of my big pet hates in the Pokemon TCG is everybody labeling everything a misprint when it's really not. A great example of this would be Cinderace. Now, Cinderace, as we know, we've talked about this before, in the UK, or really in English outside of Japan, Cinderace was actually printed with the wrong retreat cost. Simple as that. They literally just printed it with the wrong retreat cost. They printed it with a retreat cost of 1, but as you can see from the Japanese card, the retreat cost should have been 2. But it's not it is an error card in that it's wrong, but it's not an error card in that, this is now rarer because it's wrong, because every single Cinderace that was ever printed from this set had the same quote-unquote error. So yes, it has the wrong retreat cost and receives an errata, but it's not an error card in any way that would make it more valuable because, of course, it was never corrected. They're all like this. If this is corrected, then yes, the original run will attract a little bit of extra value. What is weird, of course, is that this is not the only time recently that Pokemon have actually issued an official apology in relations to the Pokemon trading card game. We saw the tweet when EV Heroes was put up for pre-order on the Pokemon Center Online. It was initially done by first come, first serve, not by lottery. And obviously the bots got to it and real fans basically didn't have a look in. So they sent tweets from the official Twitter account saying Pokemon Center is in a state where it is difficult to shop due to the high server load due to access concentration. We apologize for any inconvenience caused. And then they followed it up with, we have closed the acceptance of some Pokemon card game related products that started reservations from May the 7th, today, because the planned number has been reached. We will sell the next arrival by lottery again at a later date. Basically saying, we'll sell it as a lottery in the future. And the thing is, I know some people are going to be terribly mad. How could this happen? How could it get through branding? Well, come on, ladies and gentlemen. This is a very small, very easy to miss error. And again, I really do think this is the kind of error that could be easily missed, even by people that are really checking the card over, because it looks so natural and normal. Of course, the Pokemon trading card game has a history of weird little things along these lines. I mean, my favourite, and if you know me, you know I'm going to mention this one, is the Fanfi from Call of Legends. Because in Call of Legends we had Phanpy, and in an early run it was misprinted, so the Pokebody reads, as long as Phanpy has any energy attached to it, any damage done to Phanpy by attacks is reduced by 10. Which of course is made all the weirder, because Phanpy is actually spelt correctly in the name of the card, it is just in the Pokebody where it's misprinted. But tell me you haven't done work at your job and proofread it multiple times, and still given it to your boss or whoever with some mistakes in. I am willing to bet we have all done that multiple times. There are plenty of videos on this channel where I have checked them over and gone, yeah, that's good, and then uploaded them only to find a really, really dumb mistake, which is pointed out to me straight away. So, we've all done it, ladies and gentlemen. We've all been there. There are a bunch of others we could mention. One that was pointed out to me by the lovely Antoine Boulet and also Primal Lugia, two of my favourite people in the Pokemon community. If we look at the full art Japanese EX of Sylveon, you will notice there is actually a blank white dot where a fourth energy symbol would be. And this is on the majority of cards. There are a few out there that were corrected and don't have the white energy symbol there. Given that it's on the white body of Sylveon, it's extremely difficult to spot anyway. The ones that are corrected are actually pretty gosh darn rare and pretty gosh darn valuable. So if you do ever end up seeing these on your travels, basically if you ever see a Japanese full art Sylveon EX for a reasonable price, just, give it a little bit of a look. Give it a once over. Just on the off chance, ladies and gentlemen. Now, there are a bunch of others we could point to. The lovely Matthew Varive pointed out to me that the reverse holo Dialga from Platinum, or at least one of them, actually uses the colorless template. It's not a colorless Pokemon, but it actually comes through as a colorless Pokemon. Now, it's still got this right weakness, resistance, retreat cost. It's all right, except it's a colorless type, which technically means it wouldn't be hitting for metal weakness, which could be relevant. And it's just because they use the wrong template on the reverse holo version, which is kind of a little bit weird. Of course, I told you the other day about the Xerneas that was actually drawn by Kuki Saito, but the English version is credited to Masakazu Fukuda, who did not draw the card. Which is very, very weird. That was a weird little promo over here. And again, it's not really an quote-unquote error card, because every single English version of that Xerneas does have the wrong artist credited, but it's still a fun little curiosity. I picked one of these up purely because I thought it was interesting. It's from the Xerneas and Evil Tau Battle Arena deck, if anyone's interested. I picked one of these up just because I thought it was a cool little curiosity. It's not a terribly expensive card, nor should it be. It's just a fun little side note. I could keep going for several videos about the weird mistakes that made it through, but the fact of the matter is these things happen. And yes, obviously, we'd probably prefer it if they didn't, except I kind of like it. Not all the time, but I love having these little curiosities. Things like this greatly amuse and interest me. So the fact that we've now got a Chandelure VMAX, and incidentally, hands down, the best VMAX artwork, not including special arts, I mean regular, the best VMAX artwork we've seen so far, I will not be accepting counter-arguments. I just love that these little things are out there. And actually, I've got to go back to Sylveon for a moment, because as I'm recording, the lovely Antoine Boulet has gone and sent me this image showing that the regular full art Sylveon EX is worth 5,000 yen. And incidentally, right, 5,000 yen is moderately expensive. That's a decent amount of money. I would quite frankly like to have 5,000 yen. That would make me rather happy. It comes in somewhere in the region of $45 or £33. I'd love it if someone just walked in and gave me £33. But the corrected version without the little white circle is worth 500,000 yen, which is about $4,500 or £3,300. And I would love it if somebody walked in and gave me over $3,000 right now. Don't think it's happening. But you never know, ladies and gentlemen. You never know. Nah, paused dramatically and looked at my door, but nobody walked in and gave me money. How sad. Right, for now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to know what you think about this Chandelure. I want to know if you spotted it, and I want to know if there are any other errors that you know about that you'd like to share. So let me know in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCG Radio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can do exactly that. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.